What is going on, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today I've got my top 10 picks for this coming week's new comic book day. It is a massive week with a little bit of swerve on what I normally get. Not much to it, but I'm excited to share with you guys. Be sure to hit that thumbs up while the intro plays. Shout out to my homies over at Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check out their website. Follow them on social media. They're always doing some amazing stuff over there you do not want to miss out on. And if you need to send anything in to get graded, be sure to hit up Justin first. Get those books cleaned and pressed. You can find him on Instagram. There's a link in the description. Let him know you found him via the channel. And as always, a huge shout out to my local comic shop. This is where I pick up my new comics every single week. If you're looking for a shop or a place to get started with comics or tabletop gaming and more, be sure to hit the link down below. Take you to their Facebook group, which is the best place to find that information. So let's get into it. Another new comic book day, another list of books. There's a lot of good ones coming, and I'm really excited because it is late at night on a Thursday. And when I get up tomorrow, I'm going to be heading out for vacation. So the time of this airing, I'm actually on a beach somewhere on the east coast of Georgia, just having the time of my life for my once a year trip. So while I'm enjoying the sun, I hope you can enjoy. Looking forward to the Justice Society of America, issue number 5. So this book has been plagued with setbacks, as any Jeff Johns fan kind of expects at this point. It has been a fantastic book. We are following Huntress on a journey through time and space while we have a villain trying to eliminate the Justice Society in all eras. We've landed in present day Earth proper, and she's got the real deal team, and they're going to go face off against this foe. I've been loving this book. It's tying in to the other new Golden Age titles that have dropped. They did the big one shot that came out. They've got this one, and then they've already announced the Sandman book and a Jay Garrick Flash book coming. And if you did not, be sure to go back and check out the Stargirl miniseries that just wrapped up a few weeks back. It ties in as well. Absolutely fantastic. Jeff Johns never misses, and this book is no exception. Next up, we have the fantastic Adventures of Superman John Kent. This has been a real treat. This has kind of been a love letter to some of Tom Taylor's earlier titles like Earth 2, Injustice, and so on. But this is probably going to be the last issue of this. It was billed as a 6-issue miniseries unless extended, and it did not get any kind of announcement of extension yet. Like I said, this is the final one, so typically we would have expected to see that before this point. But we have John Kent on the Injustice world trying to make sense of his dad being a crazy dictator on this world, and we're going to see how it all plays out in this issue. We also have the really interesting and fun dynamic of seeing a Damian Wayne and a John Kent that are on opposite ends of the battle lines here. So in that last issue, we saw this Superman come in and pretty much take out the entire resistance, whether they're alive or dead, who's left standing. We're all going to find out in the big finale to the Injustice saga. And I'm excited to see what comes next for John Kent. He's had a very interesting journey over the past couple of years. And as you can see, they got that electric blue Superman tease in this. We've seen him pop electric blue a couple of times. He doesn't really hold it. It's almost like he hulks out into the electric blue. And I wish they would just turn him and keep him for a while. Like, I think that would be a fantastic story that they've really been teasing us for years with it. There's even electric blue teases in the new Superman anime cartoon. So it's getting excessive. Give us the electric blue Superman already. Next up, we're diving into the Night Terror stuff. This event has really got me twisted. I was not looking forward to it. I was loving the momentum that we had with this new Dawn of DC era, and they put up what I feel would have been a great Halloween event in the middle of the summer, but it's actually ridiculously good. I've been reading 100% of it, and there's only a few of the tie-in books that I wouldn't recommend just because they just weren't great or they didn't speak to me. But I feel like if you were following the character before the event, those tie-in books would probably land just fine for you. But the Batman title, the Wonder Woman title, and the Superman title, though they're just kind of spin-off books, they lend heavily to the main Night Terror event book. So just throwing that out there. And this issue is part 2 of the Night Terror Batman. And there's only 2 parts to each of these individual characters' little spin-off series. And we saw Batman interact directly with our main villain, and he's going deeper into his subconscious to try to find a way out. But unfortunately for Batman, who's overly confident with his abilities to deal with his subconscious and all that, everything that happens inside of this nightmare world for him are all manifestations of his own consciousness. So as capable as he is, he's going to have to face those same dangers that he would normally inflict on people. So it's going to be interesting to see how something as dangerous as Batman faces off against himself. And next up, this is one of the ones that I really did not enjoy the first time around, was Joker, issue 1 of Night Terror. So we have issue 2. So the end of it was pretty decent. There was a little twist to the whole story. Is if Batman was dead, what would Joker do? And we saw that he tried to work a 9-to-5 job, which was, I mean, the concept was funny. The execution was lazy, if you ask me. But at the end of it, there is this huge reveal that Batman's still alive. And Joker knows that he killed him. So who is it dressed up as Batman? Is it really Batman? He's going to have to face that truth and see what's happening. I believe he's going to like unmask him. It's going to be like him under the mask or something. I don't know. I'm not too excited about it. I'll read it. I'll let you know when I'm done. Next up, one that I just don't care. This was just a waste of my time, if you ask me. I know, like my buddy brother John's Comics with Kids reads Poison Ivy, and he enjoyed the first issue. I don't read it, so this felt so pointless. We had Poison Ivy in a Pleasantville world, but she clearly knows it's not real. She knows it's a nightmare. She knows something's not right, but she was just like, yeah, that's cool. I'll just be here, happy horror land with Harley, and it just there's no story to it. It was just her accepting a terrible world fate and life for her and her love. Made no sense whatsoever. But that was just my take on it. So I'm just going to be like punishing myself reading through this, but because it is a Night Terrors book and these books have like hidden massive Easter eggs that are playing to the overall event, I'm going to be reading it looking for that, because in the first one, there was even like a panel that had insomnia as like one of the neighbors in the house. And most of these issues have had little Easter eggs through them, if not big moments, like big reveals, like we saw in the Wonder Woman's issue 1 or in the Superman issue 1. So we'll see where it goes. Next up, stepping away from Night Terrors for a minute. Whoa, right here. Peacemaker Tries Hard. This is issue number 4. This is probably one of the highest quality books on shelves from DC right now. It's Kyle Starks writing it. It's the spirited sequel to the HBO Max show. Like it seems like it's in continuity with it. And we had a villain hire Peacemaker to go on a mission and pretty much turncoat on him, left him for dead. And now Peacemaker is going to get his revenge, but not before his parole officer had something to say about it. And instead of stopping Peacemaker from going to get his revenge, he decided to join him on his quest, revealing that he is an actual golden age crime fighter himself. So I cannot wait to see how this dynamic plays out, how funny it's about to be, and what revenge looks like for this unsuspected dynamic duo. Be sure to check this one out. Caution, it is a DC Black Label, so it's definitely not children appropriate whatsoever. Next up, right back over to Night Terrors. Ravager was kind of a straightforward one. You just kind of have her in a nightmare dealing with manifestations of the nightmare, which almost turned out to seem like they were dark versions or nightmare versions of her immediate circle, like her dad, her brother, and stuff like that. And I expect to see something with a Respawn, who died in the Shadow War, which was also written by Joshua Williamson, who's helming this event. So this one's, like I said, just straightforward action type book right here. There wasn't much else to it that played to the bigger story, but maybe there will be, being that this is the second and final issue diving into Ravager. And it was pretty much the same exact story breakdown with Black Adam, just dealing with a nightmare scenario, but more in his setting. We're back in Kandak. He's dealing with a weird Pantheon of Gods. He has an animal sidekick helping to navigate this. They even touched back on like the death of Osiris, and they had Is in there, or Isis. And I'm excited to see how this one plays out. I enjoy Black Adam. I enjoy like the mythos around him. I used to enjoy Captain Marvel, but I felt like they watered him down so much with the whole, his name's Shazam, and he's a whole family of them. But it seemed like my interest went more to Black Adam at that point. And I love the ancient Egyptian stuff. That's just always fun lore and mythos for me. And if that's the same way for you, you'd probably be interested in this. And the artwork in this is actually like very unique for this character. The way that he's drawn, he almost seems a little bit younger, full head of hair, no widow's peak, but it's very dynamic, very action oriented. And it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't used to seeing Black Adam like that. Toward the end of the most recent Justice League run, he was kind of moving toward the style of Dwayne Johnson. And then in the most recent Black Adam maxi series that just wrapped up a month ago by Christopher Priest, Wicked, he had a different style. So seeing him younger like this is almost like how his human counterpart was represented in the Christopher Priest run. So I'm kind of interested, not just to see how this plays out, but to see what happens with the character post Night Terrors, because we don't have a Black Adam ongoing at this point moving forward. So I'm excited to see where the events of this send him next. Next up, and the second to last, coming in at number 9, is Love Everlasting, the Image Comics self-creator owned from Tom King. This is almost like a weird time-traveling Westworld, but set in the tone and style of a 1950s love story, a romance novel. But we are following a main character who every time she finds love, she also finds an untimely death, and she immediately awakens in another time and place, not remembering where she came from, just being automatically accepting into the routine of that new time and place she's in. But as this continues to happen, she starts getting some recollection and diving into this world, trying to discover what it is that's causing her to reset and why it is. And I'm trying to play catch up on this one. I'm a couple issues behind. I don't know if they gave us the big reveal yet, but we have seen behind the curtain, and they kind of left us on red where I left off. I'm excited to see where it goes from here, though. And next up, Exo Manowar issue number 5. So this one has me scratching my head because I believe last week it was also listed for number 4 to come out. So I don't know if they're rushing this out or if this is just a release date that's not accurate. That'll happen from time to time when a book is originally set to release on a date, but it gets pushed back. They won't change or show that release date on where I'm getting my data from until it actually gets to that week. But if that is the case, if issue 5 is out, this is getting to the point where it's just all out war. Exo is just fighting and taking the armor and going head up against the Romans. And it's been a wicked story so far. Liam Sharp is on the artwork. Pretty much the Romans that were enslaved by the alien race took over the alien spaceship and spent thousands of years in space with this future technology, thus becoming conquerors themselves. And now they want Eric's suit, and he's not giving it to them. They're trying to create suits of their own. They have a bunch of weird ones, and they're trying to get them powered up. And he has some people that are helping him along the way that are not fans of what the Romans are doing, but they have some fierce warriors of themselves. I'm excited to see how it all plays out because we all know they ain't going to be enough to stop him. So that's going to do it for my top 10 picks for this coming week. It doesn't look like Marvel made the list, but be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to, what you think of this list. What's your top couple for this coming week? I'd definitely be interested to know. And come hang out every Sunday night right here on the channel where we do the live show called At Week's End. It's a spoiler-filled look back at the week in comics, news, movie shows, whatever was hitting that week. We discuss it. We have fun. We hang out, and it'd be great to have you there in the chat, bringing your style and your opinions and your tone and your flavor, whatever it is you like about this hobby. Grab it, bring it to that show, and share it with everybody else. So until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.